This is just idiotic. So it has to do with these option sets or something else getting screwed. Why? Like, I don't understand. Like, everything's fine until we start adding this game mode configuration to the game modes, and it's like that there's just a bug with memory. And setting it on the game mode. Because this game mode has got everything set properly on it, including the options set. And then it's still fine, and then when we call add, and the option set is just all screwed. We can't even step into this function. I mean, this one actually has an option set. I mean, it's just acting like none of this memory is right. Like, everything's fucked up. It's like we have an option set here. No contact. Set collisions is correct. Everything's here. And then when it calls add on this, it explodes. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And why is it now breaking as opposed to previously it wasn't breaking? I mean, I can go look at the differences with this file, but what the fuck? Like, it's always something idiotic like this. There's no reason for this to be blowing up on us. Okay, so we just took out the initialize from the constructor. And what about the actual generated file? Nothing. There's nothing here. Okay, what the fuck? Like, what in the goddamn hell? So we just can't use... We can't add something to a fucking T-array? Like... I really don't understand this. Like, there is no fucking reason that this memory should be invalid. We nude this object. We're not using any static anything. And we can't add... Like, it just has to be a bug somewhere here in the add function for the T-array? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense why there's something wrong with this. Absolutely none. Because we're not doing anything complicated with this, and yet somehow our memory is just completely fucked. I mean, I can make all these things U properties or something, but like basically this is telling me that there's something wrong with the equals operator with T arrays when you have nested F structs, and that's pretty fucked up. Like, that's not supposed to be the case. And it's acting like we have some static data which is not initialized, which is getting set in the equals operator or not set properly, and as a result it blows up. something overriding our memory, but I don't see any candidates for that as it's all local. I could make all these things U properties or something like that. And maybe that would make this thing actually allocate some of it. Maybe it's something with their header compiler or some crap where it doesn't actually recognize anything, and as a result it doesn't do anything properly. And just making these all U properties might fix that. Game modes is just trash? Yeah, game modes is just trashed. How is game modes trashed? It's like when we allocated the structure for this thing that it's just wrong. Maybe I need to recompile the game mode data. Maybe we're somehow using the wrong definition of the class or something, because it's acting like whenever I set one of these variables that it's blowing away the data that's backing it, because it's like it's valid, and then we access GM default and then all of a sudden it's invalid and blows up. So I mean, I could take these game modes off of the class here and just not use any of this stuff, which I might want to do actually, but I was hoping to not have that be the case. But maybe recompiling the header file will get this, because it's like it's using a definition of the class that's wrong. And if it's just a compile bug, then that's really obnoxious. So let's see if it's just trash or if it's just you don't want to use any of this sorts of stuff. So game modes is just invalid. It's just garbage. Option sets is empty. I really don't understand this. I'll just make them all U properties, and that'll just be retarded. But maybe that's what it needs. It's just like, well, you know, you're making a U object, and you got something that's just... If they're not U properties, then it doesn't allocate properly or something? Like, it really makes no sense why this was not working. Like, the rules of C++ and all the rest of it are just like, you know, you would not expect the memory that you just allocated to just completely be blown away when, especially with this generated code, and this generating code is doing nothing out of the ordinary. Like, it's not doing any smart pointer manipulation, it's just adding, like, text into, you know, it's setting F strings on stuff. I mean, is it that we have something in here that's adding something else by the wrong way? Like, we don't have any pointers or references for stuff. The only thing is we have these options which are going out of scope. No fucking clue. Something about the strings that are screwed up? I don't get it. Like, there's no fucking reason for this. Like, we're inside of something where we actually made the object, and then we're calling on that object, and stuff appears to be set properly. Like, game mode number is the correct thing. Like, it's in there. It's like, again, we got the option sets that are screwed up. I mean, I guess I gotta start taking crap out just to brute force this thing to be fixed. Like, I mean, what do we even use any of these variables for? Yeah, like get option set by name. We can just take that out. And then we don't have any of these things here. It's just all gone. So we can take things out. Because all we care about is our game modes. what is this pissed about? Option set dot name? It's saying option set is null. Failed at option set dot name. Oh, right. So I have to go through all the game options and actually get the option set. Not the most efficient way to do it, but, well, I guess it'll work. Alright, and this is constructing every single object manually. Like, there's no static, not even member variable references. It's just all making stuff on the stack and setting it to stuff. So, if this is screwed up, then, like, I really don't know what the fuck this thing is gonna be bitching about. I guess this isn't even complex stuff. This is just, like, if this is broken, then there's something internal that either I fundamentally don't understand with Unreal's memory allocation, or there's, like, a fundamental flaw in some of the array stuff, but none of that makes sense. Like, there's something wrong with the strings, or these options they're not even complex data structures. They're just arrays of stuff. Wait, what the fuck? Unresolved public static get option set by name. Reference by... There is no get option set by name. That doesn't exist anymore. Okay, something... I may have just been chasing ghosts here for the last 2 million years. Like, literally what may have just happened with all these is I never actually had a problem. I just have a compiler issue. Because it's complaining about stuff that's no longer defined. So, that's like... I don't actually have a compile issue, a bug in my code. I just have an issue with the incremental build is fucked. Which is just... Gameplay utils, Dashkin gameplay utils.cpp. God damn it. The file doesn't exist anymore. Like, those functions don't exist, they're not defined. So why are you trying to find them? Because, I mean, that's where it was. It was acting like it had the wrong header. So if the entire last, like, 30 minutes or 40 minutes or whatever was literally just like, well, you needed to recompile the project because arbitrary reasons. It's just really fucking annoying. Alright, so Dashkin editor extensions, runtime module. So the editor extensions are fucked up somehow. Editor extensions, runtime, 3 of 7, unresolved, game mode options set. New Dashkin game mode data, get options set by name. Now there is absolutely no get option set by name in our project. Like, it doesn't exist. So whatever is linking against this has just invalid data. Yeah, it doesn't exist anywhere in any of our code, anywhere. Let's see if I can clean just the Dashkin binaries. And that way it's not going to be a 40-minute recompile. Alright, well, I'll be right back. Looks like it's rebuilding. Yeah, it's rebuilding every fucking thing in the entire project. So it's gonna be literally 40 minutes until I'm able to test the next thing. God fucking damn it. And that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be that there's a problem with the build because, like, you change the header file and then you get linker errors. It's like, well, it's using the wrong fucking header file, and that's what all of our data was indicating, was that memory is screwed up, and memory is screwed up because of a wrong header file. That just is such a pile of shit. And I don't want to fuck up these incremental builds with some other stuff, which Because usually how you want to work on all these things is you want to work on them one piece at a time, so you know each piece is good. And if you cram everything through the door at once, you don't know what the fuck is broken. Well, how is the post game going to interact with this stuff? What we call get next game modes. No, this isn't how it's going to work. Of course, my computer performs like a pile of trash when it's compiling, because it's using everything to compile. That's just really frustrating. Like, basically an hour of why is this broken? This shouldn't be broken. To be like, well, it's not broken because it's not broken. And the arena level's the thing that's gonna... God damn it. I need the editor to actually do some of this fucking work, so... So I need the voting stuff. So I need like a voting options and a voting option. But I don't want to change the whole goddamn thing just be. I guess I should have a game mode vote, which has, what, the name of the game mode? And then the number of votes? Thank you for following, Samid. Sorry, I'm in a really not a good mood right now. So we need events for when things change. So we'll have this game mode options and this game mode votes changed event that'll be thrown to the UI. Thank you for hosting, Samid. We'll get everybody able to see just how pissed I am that I have to go recompile something after screwing around for 30 minutes with something that wasn't actually broken because the compiler screwed up with incremental build. Alright, so we have blueprint on this should be on the server. This is on the client. And we've got a couple of different objects here. We've got the voting options and the voting data. And how we're communicating this to the UI is we're going to have on rep and that's going to need to throw the event so that's how all this has to work. What Visual Studio version do I use? I'm using 2015. But it has a lot more to do with just the way Unreal does project files and builds and stuff like that. So it's all that sort of crap that I can't really control too well. So we're at 400 out of 1400 built. Yeah. I'm using the community edition because it's free, and as an independent developer, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money. So while I'm waiting for everything, I'm just going to try to diagram out what I'm actually going to make for this thing. Once this thing is finished building. Okay, so this will be the vote flow. The arena level is going to handle the voting. Should we have the arena level handle the voting? What else would we use for it? It's probably best to do it like this. That way when you click vote, it's going to do this whole RPC thing. The voting options replication is going to be what actually goes and figures out what we're doing. And if you're the server, these things will just call down straight into the on reps themselves. So I need another. So that'll be our game mode vote that we actually set for this guy, which will call all this. So what are you on, 615? So that's how the voting system has to work for replication and everything else. Alright, well I'm getting pretty hungry. I'm gonna go start something cooking. I'll be right back.